Instead of doing Vlogmas, I was like, why not just do 25 days of recipes? That's just so much more fun. Hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Dominique and I am just a vegan trying to turn your plant-based dreams into a delicious reality, one recipe at a time. Okay, and if you're returning, welcome back. You already know I love you. Hey. I'm so happy when you return to my channel. Today, you can tell by the title of this video, we are making vegan bagels. And before y'all like, but wait, all bagels are vegan. No, they're not. Some have milk, some have egg wash on them, some even have egg in them. Now, you can go to Walmart and find vegan bagels, but these have simple ingredients, okay? Those may or may not, but mine are better, okay? So make this recipe. I'm just kidding. But anyways, this recipe is super simple. If you're not a baker, it is foolproof. You could follow it. Just trust me. I do want to let y'all know I am doing 25 days of recipes. So this is recipe 1, okay? Instead of doing Vlogmas, I was like, why not just do 25 days of recipes? That's just so much more fun. So I'm gonna commit to it. This is recipe 1. We're getting into these everything bagels. I also made one asiago cheese bagel. So let me just stop talking and let's get right into the video. That's why you're here, right? Duh. If the idea of working with yeast, baking with yeast scares you or deters you away from this video, please do not click off. I'm a novice as well, and it's actually easier than you might think. There's 2 different types of yeast that I've used before. There's instant rapid rise yeast and there's active dry yeast. Now, personally, I like to use the active dry yeast, which is like this. You can get them in little packets as well. This is easier to work with because you have to activate this yeast. And you know when it's active. That's why I like it. So with this, you need to make sure you have warm milk or warm water along with some sugar, and you'll add in your yeast and you let it sit for 10 minutes covered, and then you'll see literally if it's activating or not. It's super cool. With instant rapid rise yeast, based on my experience, you can just add it into the mixing bowl with all your other ingredients, and if the liquid you're using is warm enough, it will activate the yeast and you don't have to let it sit and you don't have to wait 10 minutes. It will just automatically rise and automatically do it based on my experience. If you're an experienced baker, please make it make sense in the comments. So you want to make sure you're using active dry yeast, and I'm going to put it in some warm water and we're going to get started on these bagels. We must first start with activating the yeast, which is a very simple process. You want to take warm water between 110 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit with 1 tablespoon of sugar. The sugar is important because yeast feeds on sugar, so by adding it, it provides the yeast with readily available food. And then you want to add in 2.5 teaspoons of active dry yeast and let it sit for 10 minutes until it's proof. The thing is, you want to make sure your water is warm, about 110 to 115 degrees. Anything higher than that, or really anything less than that, will not activate the yeast. But you definitely don't want it higher because you don't want to kill the yeast. Oh my gosh, it's so easy to kill yeast. But you just want to be able to stick your finger in it without it being like, oh, it's too hot, okay? You don't want it to be too cold though. Just get a thermometer if you need to, okay? The yeast is done activating. This is what it should look like when it's finished activating. You see that? It is poofed up or puffed up, whatever. The inside looks, I can't show y'all, but I'll put a clip, but this is how it should look. That is how you know your yeast is active. It is ready to go. That's why I like active yeast. You just know. You don't have to guess. With instant yeast, you have to guess a little bit. The yeast is ready. So now the easiest part is here. Let's just work with the dough and make the bagels. The dry ingredients are very simple. We're going to start with 3 cups of bread flour. It is important to use a bread flour that is high in protein, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, and 2 teaspoons of salt. You want to mix that until it is all incorporated and mixed in together. Now it's time to add in our wet ingredients, which was the water, the yeast, and the sugar. You want to go ahead and add that in. I used a spatula just to scrape out anything that did not make it into the bowl. And you want to go ahead and gently start mixing that until it forms kind of a cohesive dough ball. Eventually, you're going to have to get your hands dirty. So if you think it's too sticky or too dry, it's not. You just have to get your hands in there and start working the dough. as you kind of see me doing it here. And then we're just going to start kneading this dough. Now, I will say, you have to knead this dough for about 10 minutes. I do have a KitchenAid, but I know not everyone has a KitchenAid, so I really want to show y'all how to do it by hand. But if you do have a KitchenAid, just let the mixer do the work. If you think the flour is too sticky, just give it some time. That is one thing I've learned when it comes to dealing with dough. You really have to be patient. Funny story, I started baking and trying to work with dough earlier last year because I was working on my patience, and this kind of was therapeutic to me, and it really, really helped me be patient, and it carried on into other areas of my life. But that's not why you're here. Y'all aren't here to learn about how I'm trying to be more patient. So when you start kneading the dough, if it's too sticky, you want to add some more flour. I did have to add a little more flour because here it might look a little dry, but once you really start working in the dough, and after about like 4 minutes of kneading, I saw that I needed more flour. So don't be afraid to sprinkle a little more flour if it's too sticky. But after kneading for about 10 minutes, it should be a nice smooth dough ball. If you don't know how to knead dough by hand, don't worry. I suggest looking up some YouTube tutorials. There's a lot of helpful ones out there because it's just as simple as pushing the dough away from you with the heel of your palm, then folding it over with your fingers and pulling it back and repeating it until the process is finished. I'm towards the end of my kneading process. You'll see me adding a little more flour here. The dough is a lot easier to work with. I'm about 8 minutes in. If you're following this recipe, you should be about 8 minutes in as well. Here's a pro tip to see if the dough is ready and if you've been kneading long enough. You want to do the poke test. So you give the ball of dough a firm poke, and if it springs back quickly at you, you're good to go. If it leaves a dimple, then you need to continue kneading and it's not ready. Next, you want to make sure that you section the dough into 8 equal balls. If you want them to be precise, you can pull out your kitchen scale. I didn't want you to feel like you had to run to the store and get a kitchen scale, so I did not use mine. I'm just going to eyeball it, and you should get about 8 bagels. That's how much I typically get. So you want to repeat this process until you have 8 equal dough balls. Once your 8 dough balls are prepped, you want to cover with a damp towel and let it rise for 15 minutes. When you're dealing with bagels, you don't want to overproof the bagels. So it's very important to follow the times that I give y'all in the description to proof these bagels. So you want the first rise to be 15 minutes. Nothing shorter, nothing longer, 15 minutes. And then once we poke the holes in and we create our cute little bagels, you want to let it rise for 40 minutes. Nothing shorter, nothing longer. 40 minutes exactly. If you let the bagels overproof, they will end up flat and sad, and you won't have beautiful, nice bagels. And we want bagels that are gonna be fluffy, nice, and look like a bagel, not like a flat cookie, okay? After 15 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and take the towel off, and then we're gonna go ahead and start the hole poking process to create our cute little bagels. So you just wanna go ahead and put some flour on your thumb. You didn't see me do that. And then you're just gonna poke a hole and form a bagel shape. I do apologize, I kind of got out of frame here, but you'll see me repeat this step a few more times. It's very important to make sure you're always keeping flour on your surface to prevent the bagels from sticking. If you decide to put these on parchment paper, you also need to make sure you flour the parchment paper, because once the bagels get to sticking, it is very, very difficult. The second rise will happen on our baking sheet. So you want to line it, like I said, with some flour and parchment paper, and you want to add on your bagels. I can usually only get 6 on one baking sheet, and then I'll do the other 2 on another baking sheet. You do want to leave some space in between the bagels, because when they rise, they are going to expand. You don't want them touching, because then they'll get sticky and they'll stick onto each other. And that can be very frustrating, especially if you are not an experienced baker or if you're not experienced with working with dough. We're now going to cover the bagels again for a second rise for 40 minutes this time. We're going to prep the water that the bagels will be boiling in when there's about 15 minutes left for the bagels to rise. That is just some molasses that I'm adding to the water. And as always, all the ingredients will be in the description box. And look at those beautiful bagels after the second rise. Boiling the bagels is not an optional step. You must do this step. Typically the bagels are boiled in barley water or barley malt, but I'm using molasses because that's just accessible, and molasses is a perfect substitution. So you want to boil each side for 30 to 60 seconds. Boiling the bagels effectively set the crust before it goes in the oven. The water doesn't actually penetrate very far into the bread because the starch on the exterior quickly gels and forms a barrier. Like I said, this is typically boiled for 30 to 60 seconds on each side. I did 1 minute on each side because I like a crunchier exterior. If you don't like a crunchier exterior, you can do 30 seconds on each side and 60 seconds total. I should have added, before boiling the bagels, you want to go ahead and preheat the oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and that will just be easier after we prep our egg wash, brush the bagels with egg wash, and add our toppings. We could just transfer them right into the oven. The boiling method is what makes the New York style bagels so popular. It gives them a crispy exterior and a chewy texture. Oh, I used to live in New York and I used to love New York style bagels. There was nothing like going to the bodegas near my house at the time and ordering a fresh bagel. Wow, my mouth is watering. So let's talk egg substitutes, okay? Now, vegan egg substitutes can be tricky. I've made this recipe plenty of times. I've tested it plenty of times. The only egg wash that I like that has given me that golden brown color is the Just Egg. Now, if you don't have Just Egg in your area, I'll put some other alternatives in the description, but 2 tablespoons of Just Egg and 2 tablespoons of water, so it's equal part Just Egg, equal part water, is the perfect egg wash. I have yet to find a better option. This isn't the most affordable, but look, I got this on sale for $3 at my Kroger. So they do have deals sometimes, but this is the best egg wash. And you're just gonna go ahead and put it on top, sprinkle your toppings on, put it in the oven at 450 for 20 to 25 minutes. Check it at the 20-minute mark though. Now it's time to prep the vegan egg wash. As previously mentioned, I am using Just Egg. If you don't have access to Just Egg and think you can't make this recipe, no. I will put some alternatives in the description for you. You want to make sure you brush the top of the bagels with the vegan egg wash and then sprinkle your toppings on top. I used everything seasoning to top my bagel. I also used some vegan cheddar cheese from Follow Your Heart, and that kind of was my take on a vegan asiago cheese bagel, and you'll see me adding it here. After adding my vegan cheese at the last minute, because I got that idea at the last minute, I baked my bagels at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes, but I did check it at the 15-minute mark, and I immediately transferred them to a cooling rack so they can cool, and that will prevent the bottoms of the bagels from getting soggy. You don't want soggy, wet bagels. You want to keep them crisp and chewy. This is how they came out, and they were absolutely delicious, and I hope you enjoyed this recipe. The bagels came out amazing, y'all, like absolutely amazing. I do this weekly, so I got the recipe down pat. I'm super excited. So I do want to come in and let y'all know these are not New York style bagels. They're not. They're just like regular bagels you would get at Walmart, Kroger, like those type of bagels. Like you could freeze them. I keep mine in the fridge, pop them in the toaster, put some vegan cream cheese on, and go on about your day. So what I did was, remember I told y'all don't want to over knead the dough, because if you over knead the dough, they will come out flat like cookies, and you don't want that, okay? So I over kneaded the dough so I could show y'all. So this is a vegan like asiago cheese one. You see how flat that is? Like, if you look at it on my hand, it's very, very flat. This is what you don't want. If your bagels come out flat like this, it's because you've overhandled the dough. Even mine are a little flatter than I would like, but that's because I was just stopping recording. But you want them to be about this thickness or more. With that being said, I hope y'all enjoyed this recipe. I'm super excited to bring you more recipes. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. I will do my best to answer them. And this is trial and error. Remember, cooking is supposed to be fun. So if they don't come out looking like mine the first time, keep trying. I had to keep trying and tweaking the recipe, and it worked for me. I'm not a baker, so if you're not a baker, just have fun in the kitchen, all right? I will be bringing out more recipes. As always, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, interact with me. Let me know what you want to see, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.